Hey family, it's Tasha from MAMABEAR Prepping. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Blessings to you and your family. I hope you're doing well. I'm back. So obviously it did not work too well for my income for me to just be like willy-nilly and I'm gonna do what I want and barely do any videos. So I'm back. I'm doing videos. I'm gonna do them every day. I may get to a point though where I am not doing them the morning of. So you might see some pre-recorded, stuff that you can clearly tell I'm wearing the same outfit, whatever, in different videos that I've clearly recorded on the same day. Okay. So wanted to start off by showing you guys I was just out in the garden this morning and here is my haul, right? Got me some tomatoes, got me some green tomatillos, got me some yellow tomatillos, which I didn't even know was a thing. Didn't even know I had two varieties, you guys. I thought the yellow ones were just sick and dying and like, what's going on? No, it's a whole other variation, okay? That you most likely get from local places, right? They're not easily sold in like stores. Got some small little Roma tomatoes, regular tomatoes. Obviously a few more cucumbers. I got a bag. I put them in a baggie, you guys. A bag of some cayenne. So I didn't get any red cayenne yet. All my red ones are really, really small. So I'm trying to see if they'll get a little bit bigger before I pick them. But the green ones are coming through today. All right. I think that's all I had. The rest is just more of what I just mentioned, right? Okay. So I show that as hopefully motivation because I know that some people have been having an issue growing or small yields. And look, I only get a bowl like that probably once a week, right? I'm not pulling a bowl like that every single morning. If I pull every single morning, it's just onesie-twosie things that I'm pulling out and I'm either letting, cure and get a little bit riper on a windowsill, or it's something that I'm washing and putting in the freezer now. But I know that times are rough, so hopefully just keep at it was my point. Okay. So today we're going to get into this. I talked a little bit about this yesterday, and that's the dying time. Wrote lots of notes and I just want to talk to you about what the dying time is. A lot of people don't know what that is, don't know what I mean when I talk about that. Some people are quite aware of what that is that I'm talking about. And so I just want to talk about it so that you guys can prepare for it and know, I guess so you can make the right decisions. Because what is heartbreaking is, especially in movies, even though I know there is a movie, I hate watching people make bad decisions, right? And again, I know it's a movie, but I hate seeing it. Even in a moving setting, I'm like, don't do that. Don't go there. What are you doing? Why are you leaving? What do you, all these things, right? And so this is kind of my warning of this will happen and what to do. So first thing we're going to talk about is what would start it. What do I mean? Well, I mean catastrophic event, something that happens that affects the majority of the people, right? Whether that's the majority of the United States, whether that's the majority of the world, but it's big. It's big, like alien big, right? It's EMPs, it's other missiles, it's crazy weather. It's the big one, the earthquake that's supposed to hit the West Coast. That thing hits the whole West Coast. That's crazy. That's Yellowstone. That's huge, hurricane. I straight just put two things together, you guys. Hurricane, tornadoes, just an extreme, takes out half the country. Crazy events. Grid down, infrastructure fails like I talked about yesterday, and a majority of people with no power, right? No lights, some sort of something that happens where they don't have a large group of people don't have a certain utility, right? Whether it's water, whether it's sewer, whatever. We're talking famine, right? No food, all the things we talk about that we fully expect to happen, right, in the near future, not far away, right, are things that could set off an economic collapse where the dollar goes bye-bye. Okay. That's a big, big deal. Okay. And people lose their minds and they're not going to know how to react. And we're going to go through a crazy time where there's the dying time. So basically the idea is, how do you prepare for this? Well, you stay home. You do not leave. People that are out on the streets or out on the roads trying to get somewhere, or out trying to get stuff, procure stuff, whatever reason you make in your head to leave your home and go out, that's not good. Okay. Because you just increase your, chances of harm coming to you, because what's going to happen? There's crazy crime happening, rapes, murders. There's going to be deaths on different levels, right? Depending on what happens, right? You're going to have exposure deaths, people who are dying from heat exhaustion and heat strokes and being exposed to the heat, right? You're going to have people the opposite, hypothermia, snow. Not people, the opposites, right? People not being able to heat their homes or cool their homes, right? And you have folks that are going to pass away because of that. You have folks that, the hospital system, anybody that's in the hospital system, that power only lasts for so long if it's not dead right away. That's a lot of people just in the hospital care systems that are dependent on other people to take care of them every day, because they are dependent on that. And they have an ailment. Or you have people who are on actual machines, right? Life-saving machines. And all of a sudden there's no power and the gas runs out on those generators. That's a bad day. So you have all of those folks, okay? You have all the folks that are on life-saving medications, right? You have all those folks that, cancer, in the middle of chemo, all these hardcore things. That's a wrap for that, okay? But in the midst of those, I don't want to say normal deaths, okay, but normal things that people like me that think about this know are going to happen, you're going to have crime through the roof, right? People thieving stuff, people trying to get the things that they can't get anymore. There's no food. That's what they're looking for. They're going house to house. They're trying to find food. There's no water. Again, that's what they're looking for. There's no meds. That's what they're looking for. Okay. You're going to have people out there that just don't know how to respond to something like this on this level and adapt. And you're going to have people who revert to suicide because they can't mentally handle it, but you're also going to have people who revert to crime and lawlessness and taking things into their own hands. And, I have to do this for my family. And, I was watching a show the other night on Prepper Tribe's channel, and they were talking about the werewolf preppers again, right? And they were like, everybody's going to be a werewolf prepper. Like, there's no such thing, right? Is there people that maybe plan and you can put this weird name on them? Sure. But what really comes down to is everybody is going to be out for survival. And those folks that decide to take to the streets, that's what they're going to be doing. It's lawlessness. It's going to be getting whatever they can get, wherever they can get it. And depending on what is the thing, possibly, maybe it's not everything. Hopefully it's not everything, but whatever is the thing that caused the crisis, that's going to be the main focus of what they're trying to get their hands on. Okay. But in the meantime, crime is going to be happening. Let me look at my list, you guys. Starvation, right? People that when famine comes, there's no food on the shelves. You have this whole group of people that are hurting people and that are causing crime and putting their hands on people and ending people's lives. But you also are going to have this big group of people who maybe are chill and not doing anything, but they don't have the food, right? They're not out there committing crimes to get the food, right? They're silently going into the night. And starvation is happening. Water deaths, right? Meaning same thing as food, right? Dehydration. Folks passing away because they can't get water, right? Can't get their hands on water, can't get their hands on food, and they end up passing away from that. And then also in regards to water, people drinking bad water. People, hey, we run out of water, or we run out of water in the sense of, hey, the tap water is not safe to drink. And the bottled waters ran out, right? There's no more being put on the shelves. There's no more coming. People not understanding how to make water safe, and then those folks getting sick and passing away. You also have a huge group that pandemic-wise, disease-wise, virus-wise happens. What happens to those people, depending on if a big pandemic comes that has a large death rate, Obviously, a huge chunk of people would be, let's say that's the event, right? A catastrophic pandemic where 30% or higher are passing away. That's a crazy event that will turn sideways, and you will have people and all the things that I'm just now telling you that could cause a collapse because people do not know how to handle that. You know, we're very reactive. We cannot handle something on a big scale like that. And so all the things that I just talk about will happen, and you should expect them to happen. But with that, so you have the folks that are passing away because of the pandemic itself, and then you have the folks that are out on the streets just running amok because they can't handle things, right? And they're deciding to just be crazy, right? Just to be on the streets and be wild and be rioting and looting, and that's what they want to do to put their mind at ease, I guess, of what's going on. Let's see, a lot of deaths in our protective citizen people, right, group, right? A lot of policemen and police women, you know, EMTs, other medical people, a lot of military, a lot of National Guard, NATO, whatever you want to, whatever group of people, but any kind of groups of people like that are mostly protective type positions to help people, to assist people, those people are going to die. And that the problem is because they have a position, a job where their job is to go out, right? The riot control folks, those police officers doing that type of, those are the folks that are going to pass away because they're out on the front lines doing the thing, right? So there's going to be a large percentage of those that die. A lot of people are like, oh, they're invincible. Oh, you're military. Oh, you're making it. Who says? Do you know how many dummies are in the military? Do you know how many weak people are in the military that wouldn't jump out in front of a bullet to save your life at all? They would physically run away, and they're only there because they have to be, okay? And you have folks that actually run away from the military, right? Physically, right? UA, never come back. So don't be sitting around thinking like, oh, the military is going to come in, they're going to save the day, or oh, you're military, you must be awesome, right? Do not, you know, weapons, for example. There's a lot of folks in the military that do not like that don't like to hold it, train with it. They don't. And so don't assume that. Same thing with police officers. A lot of people, they do that because it's a prestigious type job in their eyes. They've got good benefits. They go to a place and work in a place, like they're not in the city. They go to a place that they know is they're not going to see a lot of, you know, stuff happening, right? I tell you what, it's just like that school shooting. It will take an event to happen before you actually see who are the real ones, right? Who are the ones that will stand up and protect. The problem is the ones that will stand up and protect, a lot of them are going to die during the dying time because they are the type that stand up to protect, okay? And so that's a little sad to me. But what do you do? Well, let's see. You do, like I've said in a lot of videos, and you stay home. You prepare to stay home. You prepare to not get on the road. If you have a bug out location that you absolutely are like, we have to go, that is where we're going. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Something major happens. Our job is to get there. You better get there ASAP. Like, do not play around. There's no waiting. You better just do that if that's the plan. But my strong opinion is you stay home. You keep your family home during this dying time, at least the first 90 days. You let that drama happen out there. You let those folks kill each other, is basically what I'm telling you to do. You wait out the dying time, right? If it's a pandemic, you wait out that time. You stay at home and you wait out that time where people are out there dying. If there's disease on the streets, if there's rioting, looting, crime, all these things are happening, you are locked down, okay? And you are planning to be locked down. You're planning to stay in your home and not go anywhere. You do that by stacking food, water, meds so that you don't have to be the dummy trying to be like, oh, I'm going to go to the pharmacy and get some last minute meds. No, you're not. Okay. You're staying home and you're preparing to defend. Okay, you are preparing to defend. That's the only type of physical encounter with people that you should be having, is people that decide they need to come to your house and defend it. That's why I'm so heavy on defense, on fortification, on security, right? Because I prepare for the day that people want to come and try to take from us. And that's why I, to be honest, spend so much money in that area, because to me, it's just as important as the water, food, meds that I prep for my family, right? To give my family the best chance of survival, I prep just as much fortification and security stuff, okay? What else? Let's see. So plan for at least 90 days, possibly longer, but I'm telling you what, that first 90 days is the whew, right? That's the first wave of just super, super heavy craziness that, a large part of people are going to die and pass away. Okay. And then just continue to prepare, obviously, continue to get the things, continue to just do what you do right here. This video is not to scare you like, oh my gosh, she just, the dying time. No, you're going to continue to do the things that you've been doing, right? Continue to preserve food, grow food, stack the things, get your medicines, look at holistic options, get your grid down, your EMP, all those types of preps that we talk about. Just slowly work on them. You should already have your list of priorities and things that you're working on, and then slowly as you work forward, you get those things. Okay. All this is part of any, like, this is going to happen with any significant event that affects the majority of people. Remember that. And this can happen in small scales. Let's just say the big one hits the West Coast, and let's just say it's just the bottom corner, right? It's just all of California is just devastated. All those folks are migrating. But during that time, you're going to have lawlessness. You're going to have people dying from the actual event, and you're going to have people dying from anything that is a side effect of the event, okay? People that can't get their hands on food, on exposure, on water, on meds that are part of the event. They made it through the event, but then they are going to die because of other things. All the things I already talked about, the hospitals, all that stuff. That stuff's gonna still happen. You're gonna have people trying to get their hands on stuff, take advantage of people. It's not gonna be good. And then on top of that, you have migration, heavy migration to all the neighboring states. I would say the whole United States, okay? Because depending on where people have family, and that's a dangerous time, right? You have migration, and now you have dangerous things happening during the migration of folks trying to make it to, somewhere safe. Okay. Do not sleep on the fact that, oh, it's a natural disaster and nothing's going to happen. Nobody's going to be hurt. People are going to be wanting to help each other. What I find interesting is people that say, hey, I've been through a natural event, whatever, and everybody was nice. Everybody was helping each other. And I do believe that is true to an extent, but those things don't last indefinitely. Those things don't last months and weeks. Sometimes you'll have an event that lasts, let's say 2 or 3 weeks. But these things are still happening, just on a smaller scale. People are still dying in those events. Do you know how many people died from exposure, from not being able to heat their homes in the Texas storm? Do you know how many people killed themselves during the Texas storm trying to stay warm, having their cars turned on in the garage, or having their ovens and stoves turned on in the house, trying to keep it warm? People not understanding stuff, people dying from not boiling water or whatever. You really, honestly, this stuff happens, and people just don't want to see or talk about it, that it happens. It happens just on a smaller scale. Now imagine much bigger. Imagine something that is like life-changing, that wow, things aren't going back to normal anytime soon. And let you find out it's the masses, that it's several states or the United States or it's the world, right? Let an EMP happen. That's long term, okay? So there is a significant dying time, 3-4 months. Do not leave your house. You hunker down. Later can be the time that you go out to explore, stay in your home, listen to the radio, listen to the broadcasts of what's going on, get as much intel and information as you can off the radios, but you stay inside and you prepare to defend. That's what you do. You prepare to defend, period. Because it's coming, okay? And the dying time is not a time to be out and about, or you're gonna become part of the dying time. You're gonna become part of that group of people, okay? So hopefully this explained enough, of what the dying time is. There's all types. I'm sure there's extra things and aspects that I'm not thinking of, whether that's groups of people or a certain something happening that's going to cause a lot of deaths that I didn't mention. Let us know in the comments below your guys' thoughts. Let me know what you thought of this topic. Let me know if there is stuff that you want me to cover, because I'm going to be hitting videos every single day. I have a ton of video ideas already written down, so I'm just going to keep rolling with it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next video, and tomorrow will be a premiere. So I'll see you then. Take care. Bye.